This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Kristen Gilreath, and Logan Tyler Story. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Connor Tubasing to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team, and we want to thank Matthew Eaton for increasing their pledge over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We really appreciate your generosity and your support. Thank you so much. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 13 and 14 of Winter's Heart.
Yeah, chapter 13 is Wonderful News, and chapter 14 is What a Veil Hides.
Right.
There is so much to talk about in these chapters, and there's so much speculation, and there's like 85 to 90 little tidbits of information I need to point out.
All that I skipped over, probably.
Everything, probably, like all the the most important stuff. We have questions to ask you.
I did very little skimming.
Okay.
I have to say.
Okay.
Even through the boring stuff.
Okay.
Because I was like, if there's a one tidbit of information that I need, it's in here.
D-Man Dread makes an appearance. That's the
one I'm really talking about, yeah.
How could you... I can understand skimming some of, like, Katsu and the stuff, maybe. But D-Man Dread...
I know.
There is some strings attached to that character. There might be a ice cream cake or a bottle of whiskey on the line.
Yeah, there might be.
I've been waiting to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, oh my god, the second chapter?
Oh, basically nothing happens, but that's fine.
Basically nothing happens except that it's like...
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Okay, so before we get into it, the fun fact for today is going to be touching on what happened in the last episode.
Okay.
Because we had a conversation during that episode.
Oh, very contentious. I remember.
What is a tickle heart? Okay, so that was the big question. I didn't know what the heck it was. I had no idea. We asked, and we had some people answer. Okay. The first answer that I saw was on Twitter from David. So
I have to say, this is the benefit of being really behind.
Oh, yeah.
In our recording, is an episode gets released, people can say stuff, and then now we record.
Yeah, and it's on like 4 episodes later or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so David on Twitter suggested that Tickle Heart is referring to Rand, so Brigida wants to kick Elaine's Tickle Heart, i.e. Rand, around the palace, and then a bunch of people commented in other places with basically the same suggestions.
Right.
And here's the thing. It just makes a heck of a lot of sense, because even when I was Googling things...
The one who tickles her heart.
Yeah. Because I was looking that up. I found the phrase, tickle the heart, and I read it where it's like, tickling your heart means something or someone who gives you an extreme amount of joy. And I was like, that can't be it. It was focused on, like, is it a butt? I don't know. I mean, technically Rand's kind of a butt sometimes, but... Yeah, so it makes just a lot of sense, so that's what it is.
That's that. And then there was actually a lot of discussion around how did Brigida know it was Rand, but I'm pretty sure that the girls told Brigida they just bonded Rand, and Elaine is with Rand.
Yeah, I mean, Brigida and Elaine probably have had a conversation or two about Rand.
Yes,
and then she can put it together, maybe.
Probably.
I don't know, she's not stupid, so... No. But yeah, Tickle Heart. There you go. Okay. Question answered.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Good.
That's it. Yep.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
we got a lot to get into today.
It was a big question mark for me, so I'm happy with it. Let's get into this. It
actually wasn't that big of a question mark. I didn't care as much.
I was quite curious.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, last time we were here, a lot of stuff happened in Camelin, in the palace. Mm-hmm. Basically 2 things. Basically 2 things happened.
Bonding and then...
Super duper complicated bonding.
Uh-huh.
We're, now there's so many people involved.
Yes. And that actually has...
this connection.
Has some relevance, possibly, to this first perspective.
It's almost like a spider web. Like, the amount of people who are connected...
Yeah.
In this realm of... And we sort of touch on that later with Alana and her warder.
Yeah, I mean, I have questions about that.
Only briefly sort of mentioned last time, which is like that has happened.
Well, and the question is, is it what it might look like on the surface, or is it something more nefarious?
Yeah.
We gotta discuss that when we get to it, so.
You shouldn't ask me, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Elaine, obviously, and Rand had a fantastic 12 to 16
Lovely.
hours.
Okay.
It was great. Okay.
Sure they did.
There you go.
Yep. That was it. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then the last time we saw Cadsuane, I actually need your help with this, because was it last book or was it at the beginning of this book? Do you know?
Exactly.
I know that I'm in charge of this, but I didn't look it up.
The issue is there's so many callbacks. We've heard about things. I think from the prologue there was some stuff.
Yeah.
There's some stuff with Rand talking about Cadsuane.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
It's hard to say.
It's roughly this book to maybe last book. So
okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole Kyrian attack on Rand.
Yeah.
And then also Cadsuane and Sorelia are alliance members.
Yeah.
That's it. That's basically what we need to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, chapter 13, wonderful news. It's not that Elaine's pregnant.
Well, we'll see. We'll come back to that.
We don't have confirmation quite yet.
Okay.
On that one. But the chapter symbol is the rising sun, because we're in Kyrian. And we enter in a Cadsuane perspective. She is in the Sun Palace. And she's intentionally not in the throne room, because that would be crossing the line.
Yeah. She's pushed a lot of buttons.
She's not the queen of Kyrian. So good on you, Cadsuane.
If you recall, Dobrain is the steward, basically, of Kyrian. Rand did the whole letters thing, which is relevant to this chapter.
Where he, put people in charge in different places.
Exactly. Yeah. So he put Dobrain in charge of Kyrian, he put Gregorin in charge of Ilian, and then there was the third secret note, which you speculated, and you get points.
I do.
You speculated correctly, and we'll get to that.
I did?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Cool.
Yeah, you got it right.
Good. I didn't remember what I speculated.
Yeah, so you figured it out. That was basically...
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Darlin and Tyr. Darlin and Tyr. Okay. Yeah. We get to that in a few pages.
Is that what I said?
Darlin? You did. You kind of figured it out.
Because wasn't it Min who had a vision of him wearing
being
a crown?
A king, and it's like, oh, he's going to be a king, but of where?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Now, technically, he's
cool,
steward.
Yeah.
But,
we'll
kind of makes sense that we could get there.
We have steps to climb, though, Brett.
Yes.
This is the first step.
The steps to the throne. I like it.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, so anyway, Cadsuane's thinking about how Dobrain has kept quiet about her holding Caroline and Darlin, but he might start fussing soon if she keeps it up.
Yeah.
And then we just alluded to later in this chapter.
Yeah.
He busts in and is like, they gone.
Yeah, and Caroline and Darlin are the two who are, gonna be married at some point after, a long chase.
They're the ones from the whole, Fane cloud attack.
Yeah.
Fog attack.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, Cadsuane is currently talking to some sea folk.
Yep.
2 of them.
Yep.
There's a wave mistress who is demanding that Cadsuane return her Windfinder.
Yeah.
Is there 2 of them, or is there just one?
There's 2. There's the wave mistress and then the sail mistress.
Else. Okay.
The people themselves don't super matter.
Okay. What matters is that they want the person that they're missing back.
Yeah. So if you recall, during the Kyrian attack on Rand bonked 2 of them on the head and stuffed them under the bed.
Stuffed them under the bed, which I thought was so... Okay.
It was the Lady Aelil, which was one of the ladies
yes, it was.
From the Rand Shansha Nebudar adventure. Mm-hmm. So her, and then a sea folk Windfinder.
Yep.
And then he bonked them, shoved them under the bed, and left. And then that was the last thing. Then at the beginning of this book...
Yes, okay, it was the prologue of this book where somebody somewhere talked about that.
Rand talked to Dobrain about it, too. And
about how they're missing...
Yeah.
Right.
All
and
that
I was
stuff.
like, has anyone checked under the bed?
Yes.
They might be there.
They are not dead. Yeah. They are alive. And Cadsuane kidnapped
does have them.
Yeah. She's kidnapping everybody. Which leads into my...
She's kidnapping everybody up in here.
Aes Sedai kidnap people.
Yeah, they certainly
They kidnap people. That is a thing in the playbook.
They hold them for questioning. That is so different than what they did to Rand.
Is it, though?
Yes.
Is it, though?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Okay, we also get some weird mention of some guy named Eben, who is Cadsuane's, serving boy.
It's not some... You should know Eben. Eben's last name is Hopwill. Eben Hopwill is a full-ranked Ashaman. So Cadsuane has Eben Hopwill, the fully ranked Ashaman.
Oh, jeez. Well, they didn't
serving
say that.
tea. No, she's referring to them by their first name and as boys. But
And
all
he's
three,
like serving the wine and stuff.
Yes, and
I was like, why is there so much talk about this one dude serving wine? Who cares?
so him and Daigian is one of Cadsuin's like sidekicks, one of her lackeys that she rolls in with, who's like the weakest in the power, and they have this like incredible bond now.
Okay.
Like she's very possessive of him. They're like playing cat's cradle together. They are kind of operating as a couple right now. It's kind of like very close.
Are they bonded?
Well, we don't know that they even know that that's a thing yet necessarily, because that we don't know how it works yet, right? We know that's a thing that Taim has done.
Yeah.
But
and Logain.
Logain.
We saw Logain.
They're in Andor.
We actually didn't see Taim do that.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is the Aes Sedai bonding him.
As a warder? Okay, yeah, and like we don't know.
Because we know Cadsuin clearly thinks that that's a valuable thing to do.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Eben is literally an Ashen Man. He's one of like Rand's main dudes.
Hopwell, is he one of the ones that Rand was like, maybe you can trust that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, good. He's on the list.
So we got Hopwell, and we got Narishma in this chapter. We got Flynn in this chapter.
Okay.
Those are the 3 Ashen Men in this scene.
Yeah, okay.
I
did see the Damer Flynn, and I did have questions about why he's coming to tell Cadsuin anything.
Cadsuin is pulling in people. While Rand is away, your Ashen Men are going to cling on to the next most powerful person in the room.
I guess.
And that seems to be Cadsuin.
Okay. Did he tell them to stay here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, like, they could have...
Yeah. Cadsuin also mentions in this chapter, I'll point it out, but she mentions that she's blackmailed 3 Ashen Men.
Yes, I do have that note.
And my question is it the 3 Ashen Men who are literally here, like, serving her?
It feels that way, a little bit.
It could be, but we'll have to get into that. So, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
All right,
because I was
Eben is
like,
not just some
whatever
serving
about
boy.
this guy.
Nah.
Okay.
It's a lot more intense than that.
Interesting. So, okay.
That changes things a little bit
that
for your
does
cat.
Change things for me.
Okay.
Anyway, so Cadsuin finally answers the Seafolk lady and says, you know, this person you want back, she's helping us learn what happened that day of the attack on the palace.
Totally helping.
And then Cadsuin thinks about how she really doesn't want to be dealing with any of this right now, and they're not the real reason she's exasperated right now.
Yeah.
Because she's kind of flustered about the 5 Aes Sedai sitting over in the corner.
Yes.
And she's wondering why they just all swore their fealty to Rand.
Yeah, so these are the 5 that were named Dat Sang by the Wise Ones. So we got Baldine, we got Sareen, Nessun, Elsa, and Ariane.
Okay.
So those are all the Dat Sang, and they all pledged allegiance to the Lord Dragon Reborn.
Right, and these 5 took very harsh penances for kidnapping him and then decided to swear to him before even coming near him.
Yeah.
So it's not even really Ta'Veren Pull.
Yeah.
So then, like, what's up?
Yeah, so Cadsuin's mind's like, hey, I can understand if you were caught up in a Ta'Veren whirlwind of like, oh, I'm going to swear to you.
Yeah, when you're in a room with Rand.
But why would you ever do that if you thought about it and said yes and then, like, doesn't make any sense to her?
Although, there is a side note that maybe Ta'Veren Pull doesn't happen just when you're standing in a room with the guy.
We
like, it's literally a universal construct.
Yeah.
That if the pattern needs something to happen for a Ta'Veren, it will happen.
Yeah, totally. It doesn't necessarily... Yeah, no, I get it. I get it 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, also, I'm nearly 100% sure that this is Varen's doing.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, Baldine is one of the ones who Varen did her little, like, thing on, but the other ones we did not see her do that.
But we know that she was doing it on everybody.
A bunch of people. Okay.
Yeah, we know it.
We know it.
Okay. We know that she was doing it on all the people who had been involved in the capture of Rand. That was, like, literally her job for weeks. And she was putting garbage... compulsion knots on their brains.
She doesn't know how to actually, she's doing her best here.
And you were like, what is she telling them to do? And I was like, she's telling them to swear to Rand, and it's still making sense.
But, like, find your own reason to do it, yeah.
Especially because, even more, are showing up and doing it.
Okay.
So, it feels...
Did Varen get to everybody at some point? Like,
yes.
She got to all. Like,
all
there's like 19... I love that.
Also,
okay. That's great.
Varen is here.
Varen, yeah.
And did you note the color dress she's wearing in this chapter?
I did not. I don't
You're
really pay
lying.
attention. I swear I didn't even pay attention. What color is it?
Bronze.
Oh my... Okay, what does that mean?
Well, Masana was wearing a bronze dress.
I thought that was like bronze trim or something like that.
I don't know.
I told you, I wasn't actually paying attention
I know.
to the dress. Are you? Okay, hold on.
I don't know.
Hold
I
up.
just am noting.
Let's talk about the Seafolk thing. I need to
I
like
don't care
digest
about the Seafolk thing at all.
I need to digest that before I can respond to that. It sounds like you're saying Varen is Masana. Masana.
Okay, right.
Okay, which is wild because
well,
like Varen's been around since book 1, and we don't even think that Forsaken were like book 2, and
I've been curious about her ever. She was on my Dark Friend.
We don't even know if the Forsaken were all out at that point.
Yeah, we don't know much. That's for sure.
Okay,
you're right about that.
Okay. All right.
Did I just give you a headache?
You gave me
rubbing your face.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna drink this entire cup of whiskey.
Well, I've just been on the lookout for bronze dresses. It had like some it was like bronze with black on the hem or something.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna okay. All right, back to this. Back to the Windfinder.
Obviously, it's not the same day, and lots of people can wear.
She has
things.
one dress.
One.
Isn't she brown? Like bronze is a color of brown,
know
right?
That.
Like okay.
I just
it's a reach. You're stretching here.
Had to note it.
Okay.
It's the first time we've seen anybody wearing a bronze dress since the Masana LVR
You're really looking
meeting.
out for that. Okay.
Of course.
I don't know.
I'm very interested in
look out for
solving the
weird
Masana
things.
mystery.
Okay.
I'm more interested than Alviarin even, probably.
Okay. So, the Seafolk are not happy with Cadsuane because they're like, hey, she's Seafolk, not Aes Sedai, so she's not in your jurisdiction.
Yeah, give her back.
Yeah, and then Cadsuane's like, actually,
everything is Aes Sedai business, and so it's actually Tower Law.
Even she knows, it's a stretch, sort of, barely.
She doesn't even care, though.
Barely.
The Seafolk are huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
Cadsuane just completely tunes them all out.
Yep.
And then gets back to thinking about the 5 Aes Sedai and their reasons for swearing to Rand.
Yeah, so this is when Varen and Cirili come in.
Yep.
And they seem to have a bit of a relationship here.
Yeah.
At least a little bit.
It's interesting. Because obviously Varen had a lot to do with all of this, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so we know there's a connection between Cadsuane and Cirili. They have that, partnership to, help Rand. But Varen is having trouble sleeping from what it looks like. And then Cadsuane's like, oh, everybody's having trouble sleeping. Okay.
Wrong.
What?
No
what?
way. No way.
What?
This is...
You were saying this is the board... Okay.
This is a classic red herring. Which is my favorite thing to say in this book instead of herring. Okay. So this is your classic red herring in here. So... we're in an unreliable narrator's perspective. We're in Cadsuane's perspective.
Fair.
Observing Cirili and Varen having an interaction.
Yes.
We're in her mind about what she thinks is going on.
Okay.
So Cirili hands something small to Varen and says, this will help you sleep.
Yeah.
And so...
don't take too much, though, because you'll die.
Because you'll die. Whatever. Cadsuane is like... oh, Varen's having trouble sleeping. We all are. This is a troubling time.
Well, because Rand disappeared from the Sun Palace, and it's like, where the heck did he go?
However,
we
don't know what Varen's intention with this is.
Oh, yeah, this tasteless, don't use too much or you're going to die, poison/sleep medication?
That's the stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to be on the lookout for, dead people?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dead people or people put...
what?
Alana. Oh, no.
No.
She's just asleep.
There's no time.
Knows why.
No, well, nobody except for maybe us.
Okay, wait, that happened while Varen's here holding it. Never mind. I jumped too far.
Yeah, you did. Okay, in the future. Why would, if Varen is Masana, why would she need sleep poison when she's a Forsaken? She could just, Forsaken her way through this.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't think Varen is Masana. Let me say that for the record. I don't think so.
Okay.
But do I think Varen has her own motives for a bunch of stuff?
Sure.
Do I think that this is innocent? Oh,
welcome
she just
to Aes Sedai.
Okay. To sleep? No.
Okay.
No way.
The radar is up looking for people who are sleeping too much and or dead.
Yes.
Cool.
And then I will say Varen.
Varen did it.
And it might not even be Black Aja. She might just be Varen.
She's she's a pragmatic, if I need this person dead. Same way she approached Moraine and Swan originally, oh, I know that this is totally Dragon Reborn.
That's right.
And she's like, I've been paying attention for the last 20 years.
Everything, yeah. Just because I got ink smudges on my nose all the freaking time doesn't mean I don't know things.
Yeah, she knows things.
She knows things, and she's compelling people.
She's trying her best to compel.
Well, she certainly did. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, it
Yeah.
worked.
Okay.
Are you willing to confirm it yet for me, or no?
That what? It's like compelling?
No, but Varen compelled these Aes Sedai to swear to Rand.
I'm not gonna say that she compelled every single one of them to do that, but it seems likely, based on the information, that that's probably what her tactic was.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Cadsuane has zoned out.
Yeah.
And the Seafolk woman pokes Cadsuane's cheek.
Yeah.
And is like, hey, you're not listening
Pay
to me.
attention.
And then Cadsuane does the thing that all teachers hate. When you call out a kid for not listening, and then you say, oh yeah? Tell me what I just said. And then they say everything you just said.
Terrible.
And you're like,
You set
good.
set
I'm
yourself up
glad
for
you're
failure.
listening then.
Yeah.
Carrying on. Yeah.
I was testing you. It was a test.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Keep up with the listening.
Yes.
No, that's what she does. She just goes over everything.
Yeah. And it's a good list. So she is kind of stepping on the authority of the Sea Folk, but also Cadsuane doesn't actually know anything about the Sea Folk. But she's kind of sarcastic. She's like, you speak with the authority of the mistress of the ship for the Sea Folk, which is probably a lot, and if your Windfinder's not returned, then the Coromor is going to punish me, and you want an apology, and you want me to make Dobrain set aside the land for the bargain, and that's what you want, right? And then they're like, yeah. And then she's like, I don't care. I don't give a hoot about.
I don't give a fig.
Yeah.
A fig. I don't give a fig about your Coromor.
About the Coromor,
If you touch me again, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah, I'll beat you and put you in a bag and send you back to your rooms.
Yeah.
And I do love how right before she says all that, she says, I can be diplomatic. I'm going to be diplomatic.
Yeah. And she's like, actually, I'm bad at that.
Yeah.
But then Cadsuane calls for one of the Aes Sedai and tells her to escort the Seafolk back to their rooms.
And don't let them eat food or out, basically.
And if they're rude, spank them.
Spank them, yep.
But diplomatically.
Yes.
Diplomatically spank them.
It's pretty fun. It's a little bit funny.
No. Well, I feel bad for the Seafolk. They just want their...
Oh, yeah.
back.
Oh, yeah. No, she totally kidnapped one of their people. And they're like, hey, give her back.
It's actually... It feels like everybody in this situation needs to be knocked down 18 pegs.
Sure.
And in this situation... The Seafolk are being knocked down a bunch of pegs.
Yeah. Now
next, I want to see Cadsuane knock down a bunch of pegs.
Which is fair, but I also want to put points in Cadsuane's corner, and I don't typically like to do that very often with her, because she's kind of like a bully to most people.
Oh, completely.
Yeah. So, in context of why she's keeping the Seafolk Windfinder and the Lady Aelil, kidnapped, is because they think that they have something or have information about the attack based on how they're acting.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is fair. If you think these people might be involved in the assassination attempt on the Dragon Reborn, sure, maybe keep them under lock for a little bit to figure that out. Yeah. So, I kind of understand it. I kind of do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so at this point, the Seafolks have nothing to say, and they just jump up. They're clearly not happy with how this went down, and they all end up leaving.
Yeah, there you go. And that's over for now.
Yeah. So Cerelia watches the Seafolk leave, and she harumphs at them, and then starts scowling at the Aes Sedai at the end of the room.
Because those are the Dad saying.
Well, no, they're not anymore. They're not Dad saying anymore.
Yeah, but they were.
They were.
And she's still
they're still her apprentices, but they're kind of lounging around.
Yeah.
Crocheting and reading a book and playing Cat's Cradle. Cat's Cradle. Po Buddy's nerfing.
Did you have a stroke?
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, so she doesn't like that. And Cadsuane goes over to meet her and thinks that everyone thinks they're becoming friends, and that might actually be true, but nobody knows of their secret alliance.
Yeah.
And it's
maybe.
Yeah, people can figure stuff out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as secret as you probably think it is.
Yeah.
You're the two most powerful women of your factions.
Yeah.
And you're meeting together a bunch and you're becoming friends. You're probably having some sort of alliance here.
Yeah, for sure. So Cerelia tells Cadsuane that last night another Aes Sedai asked to serve Rand, and then another one this morning, and 2 more after that. And none of them were allowed to speak to each other, so it can't be plot. So Cerelia accepted their pleas. So now, officially, all 19 of the Aes Sedai that had been sent by Elaida to kidnap Rand and had been prisoners in the Aiel camp have all sworn to follow Rand.
Yeah.
And then Cadsuane says to make sure that you really keep an eye on them, especially the last 4 since they are Reds.
Yes, and we get the names of them, but we don't really know anything about them, but they are all Reds. And the question is, why would a Red ever swear to a man?
Compulsion. Even if it is garbage
okay.
on their brains.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense based on the information available.
Or it is a plot, and Cerealia... Although,
Yeah,
unless they're all Black Aja...
I love it. I like that.
Getting messages in their dreams about what they should do.
Perfect. It works. There you go.
Either that or Varen's thing that we saw is...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Cadsuane kind of does have this thought process, too. Like, hey, I'm pretty sure they're all going to keep to their oath because, you know, if you swear an oath, you have to...
Yeah,
but...
or honestly, maybe being an IAO .sang is actually the worst thing that's ever happened, and they're just all self-preserving.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, there's... Yeah.
But to all happen, like...
Immediately, one after the
next.
next,
One after the other, it seems...
A little bit suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cadsuane's like, oh, 1 or 2 of them might be Black Aja, too.
Yeah.
Now, we actually get a really cool thought process from Cadsuane about her backstory that's super important, and maybe we can come back to at a later point in time.
Ooh, tell me.
But she thinks once she had thought she was on the point of rooting out the Black, only to watch her quarry slip through her fingers, her bitterest failure except possibly for failing to learn what Caroline Damodred's cousin... Moraine, yeah, had been up to in the Borderlands.
It's like Moraine,
yeah,
but really cool.
Yeah,
I like Caroline. Okay.
Yeah, so learn what Moraine had been up to in the Borderlands until the knowledge was years too late to do any good.
Mm-hmm.
So a little hint that she was trying to figure out what Moraine was up to in the Borderlands.
Ooh.
We can come back to that later.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then we're like, when was Moraine in the Borderlands?
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. And then also during all this time, Varen is kind of hovering around and trying to say things.
Yeah.
I think that's important to note.
Okay.
And then this is where I noted that Varen is in a bronze dress and we should be on the lookout for her.
All right. Okay.
So, Cerealia goes off to talk to the 4 remaining Aes Sedai in the room. Varen quietly says to Cadsuane, I'm very glad she's on our side. If she is.
Ooh. Yeah.
And then Cadsuane says, you look like you have something to say that you don't want to about Cerealia. And they have this, like, stupid conversation.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. So, Bera and Karuna have been, from what it seems like, questioning the 2 ladies who have been captive. So, Shallan, the Windfinder, who is captive, and then Lady Aelil. They've been questioning them to try to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to make anything happen. And then Varen's like, hey, so... I went in and asked them a couple of questions when I was able to go in alone.
And I did my garbage weaves on their brain.
And I figured out exactly what's happening and they told me everything.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Weird how that
crazy.
happens.
Like
I'm
immediately.
so good at questioning.
I'm so good at questions.
I for sure didn't do any special anything that's for sure not allowed.
Yeah.
To get them to tell me things.
And I figured it all out. And it's not actually that exciting.
I think it's fun.
I mean, it's fun.
I think it's great that they're in a secret relationship. I think that's really fun for them.
Yeah, it is fun for them. Okay, so here's the story. So after the sea folk arrived here, Aelil, who, keep in mind, she was the one who maybe possibly tried to kill Rand.
Riotin, right?
Yeah, Aelil Riotin. So she was one of the A-ladies who were, like, contemplating killing Rand.
Yeah.
When he, like, you know, had that issue.
Almost killed,
yeah. Okay. But then they didn't. But she's one of them. So she was approached by the Windfinder to find out what the Sea Folk wanted. And they kind of like talked to each other. And because they both want to know about what's going on with Rand. Because like, hey.
Yep.
And that led to meetings, which led to friendship, which led to them being
Pillow
pillow
friends,
friends, which is the phrase for literally lovers.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of ignore the problematic line that Varen says about, it's probably as much from loneliness as anything else, I suspect. It's like, okay. Or, okay, whatever. Yeah. Not super important.
Or maybe it's just a relationship.
Yeah, cool. But the reason why they're hiding that is more...
It's really contentious.
Well, yeah, so Kyranen are like prim and proper and don't share that kind of stuff. But then also Shallan is married.
Yeah.
So that is super not allowed.
Their marriage vows very seriously.
Yeah.
No matter who you're doing it with.
And like probably they were doing some general snooping too. But the most important part was they were in like secret relationship and they're trying to keep that under wraps. Mm-hmm. But now it's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's out to the effect that Katswin is now going to use that information to blackmail
them.
Both of them.
Yes.
Because she wants to know what's going on with Toram Ryatin.
Her
brother, right? Because there's not really any news of him going on right now.
Right, because we saw him kind of disappear.
He disappeared with...
In the fog battle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, during the Fane thing.
Yeah, we call that the fog battle. That's
fog
fine.
Battle? Okay,
yep.
Okay, yeah. And then we're also going to try to blackmail Shallan to find out more about the Sea Folk, which may or may not go well, but
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
And in this moment, we learn that Katswin is already blackmailing some Ashaman.
Yeah, 3
and I
Ashaman.
Went,
yeah.
What?
Which may be Hopwell, Flynn, and Narishma, because they're the 3 who are
sounds that way, because those are the only 3 who are here.
Yeah, and what blackmail... In what context?
What do they... Yeah, what do you
have on them?
What do you have on them? You have to have something on them.
Yeah.
In order to blackmail them, so...
And who knows?
Yeah. Okay, this is one of those situations I just have to move on from.
Yeah.
And hope that I get the answers one day, or maybe I'll just forget.
Maybe never. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just forget. And you'll be like, remember that time in book 9? And I'll be like, no, I don't.
Terrible memory. How could you forget this? Anyways, let's get to the most wonderful news.
The most wonderful.
Yeah.
So, this is when Corell,
yeah.
comes in.
Which is Katswin's other sidekick, because Daigen is one and then Corell is the other.
Okay, yep. She comes running in and she says, Damer Flynn.
Yeah, the good healer Ashaman guy who
Yep.
sealed Rand's
That's right.
evil wound on top of the other
Yep.
evil wound.
Yep.
Yep.
Has been studying the Stilled Sisters in the Aiel camp, and he just healed Ergain.
Yeah, which is, interestingly, one of the women who we saw Varen meeting with. Or she was going to meet with her.
You want me to forget about Ergain and her brain?
Oh, yeah.
I'll never.
Okay, Ergain and her
That's
brain.
how my brain works.
Perfect.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget about Ergain.
Ergain.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. Okay,
That's what I kept calling her.
Okay.
Because she was milling grain or something.
Doing the thing you do with grain.
She was the worst. And Varen was like, ugh, I don't even like looking at her because that's
gross.
so sad.
Anyways, she's
been healed. And here's the important part. It's as if she had never been stilled at all.
Okay, so that's confirmation.
Well...
It's pretty dang close to confirmation.
Is it confirmation that he's better at healing than Nynaeve is? Or is it confirmation that he healed in a different way than Nynaeve did? Because Swan and Lyanna were healed, but were super weak.
Yeah, so I'm going to point out a couple of things. So they were super weak. So we do also, let's keep this in mind, it's important to note that a woman who used to be at a certain power level can be dropped down a few levels in power levels. Let's just get that on the record right now.
Okay.
Okay. And then secondly, Nynaeve healed Logain back to his full strength.
Ooh, so it's like a cross-gender dynamic?
You gotta do an opposites thing.
You gotta do an opposites thing.
You can do a same thing, but if you do it, it's not gonna be as good.
So I wonder if Flynn were to try... again to sort of see what's going on with Swan.
Would you have to still them first and then reheal?
Or would he be able to sort of reach in and be like, oh, see red wire to red wire. You missed that.
You missed it, yeah. Or is it kind of like, you gotta break the bone again to reset it?
Or is it just like, oh, see, you plugged the red into the blue. Just switch them and you're good.
And here's the question that I really want you to answer on the record.
That's how I picture Weaves, by the way.
I appreciate that. I want you to answer on the record right now.
Yeah.
If it is like an opposites thing where Flynn could hypothetically heal Swan and Lyanna back to full strength.
Yeah.
But if they need to first be stilled again, would they take that chance?
No, never.
They're not taking that chance to get back to full power? It's like, hey, we don't know if it's going to work twice, but hey, we might have to still you, and then I'm going to do it again.
No, never.
And then you're back to... Because Swan...
Never. I know never.
Swan dropped down so far.
She would rather heal a little bit than not at all.
Yeah?
She's felt it.
Okay.
She's felt the not at all.
Okay.
I feel like it would have to be a very impulsive moment.
Yeah, okay.
For her to be like, okay, fuck it.
Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Okay.
But realistically, if she had time to logic it out, I don't think she would.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Katswin does think this is wonderful news.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because they clearly don't know that this has already happened before.
Yeah,
This feels like the first time. And they're all like, oh no, but it's a man doing it, so that's super weird, and we're really afraid of that.
Yeah, there might be pushback, because it's like, oh, evil men channeling. Which, in fair.
Not evil men, just men in general.
Well,
men channeling.
Depends which Aes Sedai you ask,
Yeah, but
it's like,
just men in general is terrifying
yes,
for them.
Yeah, and also now we understand that he wants to try to heal the rest of them that were still toot. He wants to keep doing that, see if it...
Because wasn't Urgain one of the ones who was stilled when Rand. Because she was holding the bond on Rand?
Yeah, he's still like 2 or 3 of them, like at that moment or something.
Which is upsetting. I'm upset that she's been...
That you get to get it back?
That she got it back, because I really hated that, and I thought that was a fair punishment.
Does it help that she wants to swear to Rand?
No.
Okay.
No, I hate her.
Okay, fair enough.
And she deserves everything that happened.
You're allowed to have that hatred.
No.
Chop her head off.
What's it called when you do good again?
Take backseat? I don't know. What?
Like when you want to be redeemed. Redemption.
No redemption.
No redemption. None of that.
Okay.
None of that. Except that she got it. So.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. I gotta point out another little line. Catherine has some more thoughts about how she had begun gathering sisters she trusted the day she first heard of strange events in Shianar. Her eyes and ears had kept watch on Swan Sanche and Moraine Damodred for years without learning anything useful.
Ooh.
Okay. Events in Shianar. Yes.
Like Faldara?
That is in Shianar, yes.
Like...
We'll talk about it later, at a later time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to trust you, because we have so much to get through.
I know. This is like such little tidbits. Let's get to the good stuff.
Guess what? Somebody busts in.
It's Narishma.
I said in my notes, some guy named Jahar runs in.
Yeah, Jahar Narishma with the bells in his hair.
I didn't know he had a first name.
You know how many times I pointed out Narishma's bells?
Yeah, but...
Where's he from?
Arafel?
Because Arafelans have bells in their hair. Come on.
Well, I know that part. That I do know.
Do you not study their first names?
He could have just been Jahar, the guy from Arafel, who's a servant here for no reason.
Yeah, no, it's Narishma, another Ashman.
It's Narishma.
Narishma, yeah.
I know Narishma.
Yeah, you should. You should know him.
Don't ask me anything he's done.
Okay.
Because I can't remember any of that.
He did one really important thing.
He's been hanging all around.
Yeah.
And doing lots of stuff. Is he the one who went and found Kalendor?
He didn't find it. He retrieved it.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was on a... Where is it? It's like literally...
He went and found it for Rand.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Retrieved it and then almost died because Rand totally told him about all the traps.
And his first name's Jahar?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Okay. And that's this guy.
That's this guy.
So Narishma's running in to tell
Cadsuane. Yeah.
Because I was like, who's this guy running in to tell Cadsuane this? Someone who cares, clearly.
Yeah, another Ashaman.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Did Rand give orders for them to...
Not really.
To, follow Cadsuane?
He didn't really tell them to do a lot. He just kind of bailed.
This is weird.
After kind of sort of maybe definitely trying to murder all of them during the Sun Palace attack.
Right.
When they're like, hey, come out in the open. And they're like, no. No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. So I guess Narishma runs in and is like, Alana's unconscious. She collapsed in the hallway. And I went, oh, man. This is all too much for Alana.
Now, is it the bonding?
Yes.
Or is it like the sex?
Also
Which is it? Because what
we know it's not the sex because... We know Rand has been having a lot of sex with Min.
Okay.
And she hasn't passed out.
But this is new.
This is new sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's for sure the bonding.
Okay.
Because this isn't the first time she's felt that Rand has had sex with somebody.
Yeah, okay.
She didn't collapse,
Fair.
Then.
That's a good argument. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the bonding.
Okay.
Because that's shocking.
That would make... Okay.
The man you've bonded has now been bonded by others. She for sure can feel... if she can feel Rand in her head, maybe now she also has baby tiny pinpricks of all 3 women also in Rand's consciousness in her head.
Because we know that the bond he has with the 3 women...
It's very Inception-y.
And it's different than a traditional bond because it's parts Aiel ceremony. So, yeah, okay.
And
Cool.
how that's affected her, we're not really sure.
Well, it made her passed up and not want to wake up.
She's very afraid.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're going to go off to see Alana, but before that can happen,
Yep.
Dobrain comes in and is like, hey, Cadsuane, I thought I should tell you that the Lady Caroline and High Lord Darlin are no longer. They're not here.
Yeah.
They're
Because,
gone.
yeah, he went and busted them out.
Good.
Yeah. And then
They're
Cadsuane's
on
like,
a river ship bound for Tyr. Beyond your reach this time. And Cadsuane's like, you don't even know what's beyond my reach.
Yeah, she does think, actually, it's kind of interesting being in her head for this, because she thinks, I should have left at least one sister in the palace to prevent, just an army from busting these people out. But she was sure that she had them secure.
Yeah.
So it is kind of interesting that she was, pretty confident.
She trusted Dobrain too much.
And if you recall, what Rand told Dobrain was, you'll know when to deliver the other one, whether to deliver it, pry him out if need be, and decide by what he says. If you decide no, or he refuses, I'll pick someone else, not you.
Yeah.
So Rand told him, you might have to...
This is where I get the gold star.
Yeah, you get
I'm remembering now.
You got it right.
Yeah, what that you just said came back to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you might have to bust them out of the palace yourself, because Cadsuane's not going to let them go.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So that happened.
Yep.
That's cool. And Dobrain says, hey, Darlin is to be the Lord Dragon's steward of Tyr.
So not technically king, I guess?
No, not yet. I told you, stepping stones.
Yeah.
But it seemed wise to send Caroline out of the country, too.
Yeah, and they're going to be married at some point.
Yeah,
so.
Cadsuane isn't super happy about this, but there isn't anything to do about it, so off they go to see Alana.
Yeah, they gotta figure out what happened with Alana.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like, oh my, because this is a very, very concerning thing. The Aes Sedai blacked out of the dragon. That's just crazy when you think about it. They should be worried.
Oh, yes.
And they are.
Oh, yes. So they get to where Alana is, and she's lying on her bed with her eyes closed, and her warder Ivan, with a funny H, is in there.
The extra H.
The extra H in Ivan. And he says, she seems afraid to wake. There's nothing wrong with her that I can tell, but she seems afraid. They try to heal her again, but nothing happens because they've already tried that. And Cadsuane is like, there's nothing we can do here.
Yeah, we wait.
Yeah. Varen is looking terrified. Cadsuane does not want to lose her connection to the boy.
Yeah.
And she says we sit down and wait for her to wake because there's nothing else for it.
Yeah. So, hopefully... maybe is it hopefully? Do we want her to wake up?
Not really, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine if she doesn't.
So you think it's literally the bond, not something more nefarious? Something happened to Rand?
Yeah. No.
We don't know the time lapse exactly.
No.
Okay. And Rand just bailed with Nynaeve.
This is a timestamp for me, because what else?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's
fair.
Yeah. There's 8,000 things I could just, pull out of my butt and, be like, this. It could be this. It could be this. But...
Let's go with timestamp.
Let's go timestamp bonding.
Cool. Love it.
Because that feels the most relevant at this point.
Fair.
Because what else really could be that shocking to Alana?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the end of this perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm kind of surprised this chapter on its own, you didn't separate for us.
I know.
Because we still have half of this chapter and another chapter to do.
Well, let's get to it.
Okay, I need a quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
This is a good one. Okay.
Okay, here's my thing.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
Actually, though, so we're going to perspective change into Demandred, and when I read this, I was like, ooh, we're going to find out so much good stuff. Except here's the deal.
Yeah.
We find out literally nothing.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to change your opinion.
I sure hope so.
I'm going to change your opinion.
I sure hope so.
Absolutely.
Because...
we find out so much information. Oh man, let's nitpick this.
No.
Let's do it.
Okay. Not the kind of information I want, though.
It might be.
No.
Some of it might be.
I will eat my hat.
Oh, no, don't eat your hat.
I get that we find some stuff out.
Okay.
But is it the stuff that I care about?
Okay. Did it move the meter on where you landed on Demandred?
No, it did not.
Not at all?
No.
For or against?
No. I didn't find out enough.
Nothing. Okay.
I didn't find... I wanted, more tidbits.
So here's the thing.
I wanted sprinkles, and I got
This is the
dustings.
issue. I feel like you hyper-focused on Demandred let's hyper-focus on everybody else, and let's figure out who people are.
Okay.
Okay? Let's do that.
Can we do that? You're gonna help me?
Maybe. I might. Depending on how far you can get with the hints I provide.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay. So we open with Demandred saying, "Where is he?"
Because Moradin's friggin' late.
He's impatient to start the meeting.
Yeah.
And he wishes that Semirog or Masana were here.
Yeah.
And immediately I'm like, oh, Varen's busy.
Varen's busy right now. She can't come. So here's the thing. This is pretty interesting. Okay. He's been in an alliance with both of them.
Well, sort of. It's not really an alliance. It's just like a mutual understanding.
Yeah. We'll kill each other last after everybody else is gone.
Yeah.
So he does say it's difficult for Semirog to attend these meetings.
Yeah.
So the big question is, why is it difficult for her to attend meetings? She's a Forsaken. She's a Chosen.
Yeah.
So that's a big question mark.
Mm-hmm.
What's making it difficult? And then Masana hasn't been showing up to many meetings, but she's still like around, but not as often. She's getting a little bit,
hasn't been showing up to much lately.
Yeah.
And then Demandred says, Althor has been seen in 5 cities since those blind fools, those idiots, failed in Kyrian.
Okay.
And I raise my eyebrow.
Interesting.
That speculation.
Okay.
You think that those Asherman are idiots?
Yes.
Well, Taim would certainly think that Asherman who failed to kill Rand are idiots.
Now, someone does react to that comment.
Yeah, it's Osingar.
Yes.
He frowns at the idiots and blind fools comment.
And Demandred thinks, as well he might. Obviously,
he
would react that way. He would be offended by the blind fool comment.
Not offended.
Okay.
No, he frowns at it.
Well, here's the thing. Osingar also knows who he can challenge, and he knows he can't challenge Demandred.
Okay.
So he's not, he reacts. He's like,
Well, he frowns at that comment.
And then he wipes his face clean on that one.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But before we get into that part,
so is Osingar time?
No. You're gonna have to think on this. Okay.
No.
You're hyper focusing.
I'm not switching.
You're focusing too much on Demandred and Taim. I'm telling you that much.
Okay, fine.
All right. We do get a little bit of Age of Legends world building about the view screen or whatever it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the view wall. So they're in a room that basically is a holographic window, walls. And Grendel has chosen like a forest setting, and it's got scents and sound and appearance, and he's like, she doesn't even like nature. Why would she pick this as the background for this meeting?
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a little tidbit that means literally nothing, but I always like the Age of Legends thing, because he's like, it's something that's lost from a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Osingar smooths his face over after frowning at the idiot's comment.
Yep.
And says, a matter of chance. Next time, he will be killed or taken. Chance can't protect him forever.
Yeah, so Demandred has some background thoughts, too, I gotta highlight in this chapter.
Okay.
So he thinks that he knows Osingar is still the same person he was before he was given the new body, and he's always known who he can challenge. But Osingar also starts dry washing his hands out of habit.
Okay.
Okay? Even though he's dressed up as a ruler of this age. But it's just a hint of now we gotta be on the lookout for who has a habit of dry washing their hands, either in the past or in the future for characters.
Bulwer?
Okay, what?
Bulwer dry washes his hands.
Okay, you're okay. Okay, that's fair.
That's the only one I can think of off the top of my
Fair.
head who
Fair.
maybe, and that's a pretty big stretch in my brain. I'm that's probably a thing that he's done.
Who would also frown at the comment, blind fools, those idiots who failed in the attack on Rand. So okay, things to think about. But he's still the same person.
An Asherman?
I mean, we don't know.
No, he wouldn't be an Asherman.
We don't know. We don't know. It's Nori. It's always it's the accountant.
The accountant. Don't trust accountants.
Yes, that's the lesson
the moral of this story.
We want to take out of this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and also there's the thought process that Demandred has. If not for his particular skills, like Osingar, if not for his skills, he would never have been chosen. So.
Yep.
Yeah, things to think about. At some point, I'll confirm things for you in the
Yeah,
series.
I know. It's not today.
Okay, that's fine.
But this is when we learn that Arengar's also here.
Yeah, and we know who Arengar
She
is.
speaks up.
It's Halima.
And she's like, hey, listen, you're gonna depend on chance. You are responsible for watching him, Osengar, and you, Demandred. And this is where I went,
So who's responsible for watching Rand?
Taemin
And who?
Ashimans.
Okay.
And others.
Okay. Well, there's two specific
And
people who
others-
apparently are supposed to be watching Rand.
Ones who are close. Well, I think that "and you, Demandred" is like pretty telling.
Yeah. But there's also the hint that Demandred might not...
also.
Yeah. Yeah. So Osengar also seemed to have been relatively close in watching Rand.
Okay.
This is your It's all the wheels are turning. And again, this is a podcast, so you're using your hair.
I make my hair my
into your
mustache
mustache
while I'm thinking.
That's your thinking face. Your Sherlock Holmes thinking face. I guess if Sherlock Holmes has a giant mustache.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that did pique my interest for sure.
I was going to say, like, what are your thoughts on this? But at this point, it's got to stew, I think, for a little bit.
It doesn't even matter what my thoughts are.
All right.
I guess that's the point of the podcast.
Yeah.
Is I have to speak my thoughts and people hear that.
Not just make hair mustaches.
Yeah, it is good, though, while I'm thinking. Well, there's lots of people positioned around Rand who think that they have a handle on Rand and don't. So, let's move on. That's all I have.
Okay.
For that now.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's okay.
Is that acceptable?
Sure.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
So Grandel is here?
Yeah, she speaks up now.
I love this. I love these random Forsaken meetings. These
it's
are
like
great.
pretty much, it's almost
Except
everybody.
I'm actually starting to feel like, oh no, a Forsaken meeting. Because I'm going to get a jillion cryptic things and not be able to understand anything.
But the best part is, they all make sense. All these meetings make sense
later.
on a reread.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now, though, for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Grandel speaks up and she says, I think you should be more worried, Arengar. You, Osengar, Demandred, and Moradin. You should all be worried. Perhaps you should fear Althor's success as much as his failure.
Yeah, so she's beating around the bush, and we get to it immediately, pretty much, that the real fear is what happens if Rand figures out how to remove the taint from Sidene.
And she calls it the shadow from Sidene.
Yes, the shadow from Sidene. So what happens? Because if that happens, then those of you who channel Sidene, so this is confirmation that Arengar, Halima, does channel Sidene.
That's right, which we know.
Yeah, it's like,
which also,
if you ever wondered,
completely smashes my Asmodean is Sindane theory.
Yeah, and
we know she
we'll
doesn't...
talk about her.
She gets it.
So here's the thing. What happens when that shadow is lifted off, and now you don't have to rely on the Great Lord's special protection, because we know that all the male Forsaken have that special link to keep them from going mad.
Yep.
So I think it's pretty hypocritical.
Will he trust your loyalty
it's
then?
like he currently trusts all the women.
Yeah.
And you don't have special
protection.
protection.
No, that's why. Because he's like, he really knows he can trust them without an additional link.
Okay.
Right? Without offering something special for them.
Fair.
And that's why she's like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Grandel likes being better than everybody.
That's true.
Okay, so Demandred saw this accusation coming, and now it's clearly out in the open. He had hoped to have Rand captured or dead before this came out.
Yeah.
Because during the War of Power, more than a dozen of the Chosen had died because of the Great Lord's suspicion.
Yeah, so I want to kind of highlight this too, because this is a bit more information about the Chosen as a faction within...
Tell me.
Well, here's the thing. We know that there's Dreadlords who are channelers, but then we also have the Chosen who are like the special high-ranking ones. And we got a little tidbit during the Moghedien-Moradin meeting for the first time that we learned from Moghedien, because she sees Moradin channeling the true power, which is like the Dark One's power, right? Mm-hmm. And she says there's only 29 others who have been granted the ability to use the true power, so they're the chosen ones, right? So it's interesting that back in the War of Power, there were more than just the 13 chosen that we know.
Yeah.
There was lots, and a bunch of them died from suspicion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just kind of like neat.
All right. And then this is when Moradin walks in.
Stage
and
left.
is like, The Great Lord is sure you're all faithful. And Demandred thinks, he walked in as though he were the Great Lord of the Dark himself.
This is super important. You gotta read it slowly.
Okay.
This part of the chapter. Because you should be able to figure out who Moradin is.
Oh. Are you going to point that out for me?
Well, you should.
Okay.
Okay. So, he walked in thinking he is the Great Lord of the Dark himself.
Right, okay.
And he had often seemed to believe that he was.
Right.
And the boy's face he wore now hasn't changed that.
Okay.
So he is clearly someone
different.
Who is a person come back again.
Okay.
Now, we also get that Moradin has a rat riding on his shoulder.
Yeah, okay.
And probably for not much of a reason. And Demandred thinks a youthful face has not made him any saner either.
Okay.
So who's the Forsaken, who was a Forsaken, and then died and has come back in a new face, thinks that he is the Dark One, and is totally friggin' bonkers.
Is it Ishmael?
Ishamael.
Yeah.
So, if you want any confirmation on who this is.
Okay. Did I ever say that?
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did probably once.
You rolled it around?
I probably said it once at least.
You rolled it around and dismissed it.
Probably.
You rolled it around and dismissed it a couple of times. You did. But if you want someone who is an old person to come back...
The only reason I thought maybe no was because when we saw him for the first time, he was spying on Samael and Grandal, and he was using all these Age of Legend terms.
Yeah.
And as if he had never been in this age before or other ages, and it just didn't feel like...
yeah.
Okay.
It's not quite... It's like clearly you come back, and you come back a little bit different,
okay.
But the core of who you are is still the same.
Okay, would you like to hear my personal rat on a shoulder story?
No, I don't know. Do I? It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Okay. Does it get exploded by the trooper?
No. No, so Moradin walks in with a rat riding on his shoulder, and the only thing I can think of, and the only two people in the world who will appreciate this story, actually listen to this podcast. So, my dad and my brother and I walked into a pet store in Winnipeg.
Okay.
When I was, I don't know, a teenager probably. I don't know what we were doing there. Buying stuff for a pet, perhaps.
You didn't have pets.
Yeah, I did. I had a hamster at one point.
Okay.
But maybe we were looking for...
Sure. Yeah.
One? I don't know.
You fish?
Maybe. We did a fish too.
Fish,
fish tank.
Yeah.
Anyway, the owner of this, local pet store...
Yeah.
Had a hairless rat.
Oh my god.
Riding around.
Really, this story is for 3 people then, because the...
Yeah, the guy's there too. If he's
like, oh my god, that's me.
Yeah, that was me. Well, okay. I actually think I gotta back up. Rewind the story. There was a hairless rat, and we were like, ugh, a hairless rat.
Is it supposed to be hairless?
That guy's gross.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, he's really smart. He does tricks. Watch.
Oh my.
And he took the rat and put it on his shoulder, and it fell off.
That's a good trick.
And then my dad said, what's the trick? Falling off your shoulder?
And then you got kicked out of the pet store.
Yeah, pretty much. The guy was not amused. He was not happy at all. And this is one of those stories that we retell and talk about to each other
That's
often.
Solid.
And I thought about this in this moment because I was like, this rat can do tricks, but that rat couldn't.
You know, I'm a little bit upset now.
Why?
Because I don't think I've ever heard that story.
What? Really?
And I'm pretty sure I've heard lot of yours on repeat.
Yeah.
Because,
I feel like
pick
this
the
is
highlights.
A story you've heard, but you often zone out.
Oh, that's true.
And you don't listen.
Okay.
Sometimes to
it
all
might
the
be
stories.
my fault. It might be my fault. That's a good story, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to hear... Yeah, anyway.
Moradin does something a little bit not as nice.
Not as nice. He busts the rat on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. Demandred is tired of waiting.
Yeah.
So he asks, why are we all here? Moradin makes a comment about Masana being absent again, and then says, small unimportant things can become very important.
Yeah.
Like this rat.
That's Robert Jordan saying, look at the fine print and all the writing. The little things are important.
Yeah, we get it, RJ. Or whether Esam succeeds in finding and killing that other vermin, Fane.
Yes. Okay, you want a callback?
Ooh.
Let's get a callback. Okay, so back in the Shadow Rising, chapter 42, okay, that's when Perrin is having a showdown.
Rising, yes.
Yeah, he's having a showdown with Slayer.
Yeah.
In, like, Tel'aran'rhiod.
That's right.
And then Slayer starts monologuing a bit and talks about bringing enough Trollocs initially to keep the White Cloaks off balance, and then also to see that the renegade dies. And we had a whole conversation about who's a renegade.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's Thane.
Thane.
So it seems like Esam's mission was to kill Thane.
Ah, we should have let him do it.
If he was able to. That's the thing. Thane is super dangerous.
Yeah, but clearly Esam/Slayer has his own special abilities.
He does. But if he's having...
let him go on his path.
Yeah.
Damn it, Perrin!
He was killing wolves, too.
Oh, right.
Killing
that
wolves.
was not great.
He's killing wolves.
That wasn't good.
Yeah.
But we gotta get rid of Fane.
True. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we, though?
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, we do.
Wait, you said no redemption, right?
For
okay.
who?
Anyone.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I said no redemption for the Aes Sedai who captured and enslaved Rand.
Yeah.
That's...
Okay. But
that's no redemption
for Pan Fane? It's on the table?
No.
Okay.
Redemption for Slayer.
You want redemption for Slayer?
Yeah, I want Slayer to go hunt Fane.
Okay.
You're not following me.
No, not at all. But that's fine. We're not even supposed to be talking very much about Slayer. It's just like, hey, that's a thing that happened.
And then the rat bursts into flames and it's gone.
Yes, amazing. Good job. And then that freaks out Demandred because like, oh man.
Used the true power.
He's using the true power.
It's a whole thing. Shit floating around in his eyes.
And it's accelerating a lot, so he must
It's a lot.
be only using the true power exclusively.
Which we already know.
Yeah. And that's going to make you go even crazier. So kind of adds up into the whole, why are you so crazy? Well, probably because you're
crazy.
Keep using the true power, man.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for a long time. You should probably stop, but you can't. But yeah.
Okay.
So anyways.
All right.
Yeah. Then Moradin walks over to Osengar. He's like, hey, it's a good thing you never thought about doing it, because Osengar had a little monologue like, oh, I never even thought about how I could do that, because whatever Rand tries to do, it's clearly not going to work, right? Mm-hmm. I'm super smart, and I couldn't figure it out, so, you know. Mm-hmm. And then Moradin says, hey, it's good you didn't try to do that, because that would be bad.
Right, and then that's where Sindain is here, on the heels of Moradin, to fill them in on the situation.
Yeah. Okay.
So Sindain,
yep,
last chance for romance, says...
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No.
Well, according to Demandred, maybe.
It just rhymed.
Maybe.
Says, you recall the...
Choden Kao.
Oh, you didn't even let me try.
I thought you were pausing because you weren't going to try.
No, I was pausing to try to say it.
Didn't you listen to the audiobook about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Choden Call.
Yeah, Choden Call.
Yeah.
We get a name for it.
Well,
it's great.
Luz Theron has 2 access keys.
Yeah. So.
One for each. And he knows a woman strong enough to use the female one.
Who's that?
Nynaeve.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And
he plans to use the Choden Call for his deed.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like,
oh my god!
The room's on fire! Everyone's like freaking out.
You know, I actually love this because this is like a lot of Age of Legends lore that we learn too about this stuff.
Okay, I know you would love this.
Yes, of course.
Right. Erengar says, I thought the keys were destroyed. He could shatter the world.
So this is big. So that means that these 2 like little Emmys, yeah, the little statues, are access keys for the big ones.
Yes.
But they're not the only ones.
No,
they made a
he
bunch.
Has 2 of them.
2 of them, and they thought all of them were destroyed. So there were other access keys to access these Sa'angreal, the most powerful Sa'angreal ever. Very cool.
And Osengar wants to know, how does this little girl know he has them?
Right.
And then Grandel starts screaming at Demandred.
And it's like super dramatically.
And you've just been hoping to blunder into him, hoping someone will find him for you.
Yeah.
Fool.
So that's a weird thought process,
that's
too.
That's a weird thought process.
That's a weird one. It's a weird one.
If Grandel isn't aware...
Yeah. But, like, are they talking in reference to Rand is now currently missing? They're trying to find him, and they're just hoping that they're going to run into him.
Yeah, or is it... You're hoping to just run into him in the world. Yeah. And you aren't stationed next to him as his number 2.
At the Black Tower.
At the Black Tower.
It's a big question mark. Okay. More importantly, we get a confirmation that peaches are in fact poisonous in Randland.
I know.
Not just now, but also...
But always.
But also then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us. That's it? You weren't going to read it?
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah,
You don't have the actual...
No, peaches are poisonous.
You should read it. Because people are unsure.
Oh.
We've had a few comments of people being like, I'm not sure of that. Or something like that.
Okay, fair enough.
People, maybe not, I'm not sure of that. But, maybe it's just speculation. Maybe they're not actually poisonous.
Okay, so D-Man-Dread is thinking about Sindane, and he thinks, by face and form, she was a luscious plum, ready for plucking, but her big blue eyes were glacial. A peach, perhaps. Peaches were poisonous, here and now.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in the text, folks.
There we go. Peaches are poisonous. Don't do it. Don't eat
them. Well, this Sindane girl is clearly a puzzle to Demandred.
Yeah, okay.
And at first, he had thought she was Lanfear reincarnated.
Interesting, yeah.
And what's interesting to me the most, actually, so we know that the Forsaken know they can be reincarnated.
Yeah, transmigration.
That's the word.
That's the word he uses in this, so that's what it is.
Because bodies for transmigration supposedly were chosen by what was available, because Osingar and Arengar were proof of that.
Yes, yeah. And he knows who Osingar and Arengar are from their previous selves.
That's right.
He references that he knows them and they're still that fundamentally the same people that they used to be, even though there are some differences.
Well, even Arengar, as a woman, was like making passes at Grendel being a gross person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the fundamentals stay the same, but there are some differences likely. So.
Okay, but the thing about this whole... Is this Lanfear?
Uh-huh.
That's an interesting thought.
It is an interesting thought.
And I kind of like it.
But don't worry, because it can't... How could it be? Okay.
Okay, because he had been sure of it until Masana told him that Sindane was weaker in the power than Lanfear. And I still think, maybe, though.
Okay. Well, we just talked about it last perspective, that it's possible there are... things that can happen that can reduce your power.
No.
I'm just saying it's possible.
No. More likely, Masana can lie.
Also that.
To Demandred.
Also that.
Because she wouldn't want him to know.
Yeah. That's also
true.
Keep
him off balance. That makes way more sense to me that Masana would just make up a lie.
The Chosen might lie to each other.
Right. And he's like, shoot then. Who
Must
could it
be?
Must be
True.
Like, what?
Okay.
Yeah. So... The only thing that makes sense is it's either Lanfear or it's a Chosen that we don't know.
Okay.
Because we don't have another female Chosen dead, right?
No, I don't think we've cut. No. Yeah.
And so, unless I believe Lanfear is not dead, then it's somebody we don't know.
So that's also a big question mark because if this is in fact Lanfear, then that means that Lanfear died.
Or the Great Lord, plucked her up.
Off out of the
from wherever,
realm
whatever,
because they're not in the same dimension. So that's fair too.
Yeah,
we can get. And the issue is that she talks about Althor as Luce there.
That's the thing.
She does the whole Lanfear thing.
That's the real Lanfear thing.
And she clearly talks about the Choden Call as someone familiar with it and the terror that was inspired in the War of Terror.
She's clearly from there.
So and that's the whole thing is Balefire was more feared, but only barely than these gigantic. Continent melting Sa'angreal is what he describes him as. Yes. So, and we also know...
she had a lot of information about these...
She wanted to use them with her boyfriend.
Yeah, to even defeat the Dark One, and they could rule the world.
Yeah, so... Last chance for love, right?
Yeah.
Romance?
Last chance for romance.
There you go.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I did say that. So, I mean,
Who is it?
As long as I'm comfortable saying... that if Lanfear had either died or was, plucked out of wherever she was...
Sure. Moraine would not get the same plucking out of
but that
dimension.
doesn't necessarily mean Moraine suffers the same fate.
Fair.
Because my theory, and it still stands, is that you go through the door and you're separated.
Okay. Because we also know it's really bad to, talk about and or mention, Shadow Spawny type bad guy stuff when you're in those dimensions. With the snakes and foxes. We did get that as a don't bring up the Dark One, don't talk. And if Lanfear went through the doorway, it's like she's pretty evil, and maybe there's a connection there. So just
maybe
like
they would have just murdered her,
as
but
a
like
thought process.
Moiraine's getting out somehow.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe.
yeah. I'm gonna need.
Put a name to it. Who is it? Is it Lanfear or is it not Lanfear?
Don't make me.
Is it Lanfear or is it not Lanfear?
The fact that I'm like even 50-50 on
Pick a
this
side.
is a pretty big thing. Because the fact that I'm even saying this could be Lanfear.
How many ice cream cakes do I need to promise you?
So many.
Pick a side.
So many ice cream cakes.
If you're right, you get a second ice cream cake. There's got to be something else
I
that you
just
want.
need an ice cream cake that says something really ridiculous. That's my favorite thing, that I need you to go into Dairy Queen and make them write something very ridiculous
ice cream cake,
on a cake.
Ridiculous ice cream cake on the line. Is this Lanfear or is it not Lanfear?
I just can't say.
Then no ice cream cake for you. Ever again.
God, this is the worst deal I've ever made. Okay, it's Lanfear.
It's Lanfear? You're landing on it's Lanfear.
Everything is You know what? Yes. Everyone is Lanfear.
Perfect.
In disguise. So,
That's good
you
enough.
know what?
Okay.
This fits.
Then you need to act as if Sindane is Lanfear.
Okay.
Rewind.
No.
That means
no
Lanfear
rewind.
is...
Starting from right now.
Okay, Lanfear is mind-trapped by Moradin.
Which sucks, but...
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like it. You know how I feel about this?
Sure.
Is the same way I feel about saying Samael's dead.
Fair. Okay.
That's how I feel about this.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I took a hard stance, but do I believe my own hard stance?
We haven't seen Samael since.
I hate that you make me make a hard stance.
Well, that's where we are right now in the series. You gotta pick a side.
Okay, we have one more point to get through here before the chapter ends, and then we have a whole nother chapter to talk about.
Let's keep rolling.
So, Demandred finally says, so it seems he must be killed after all, before he can destroy the world and us, which makes finding him all the more urgent.
Yeah, so maybe.
And the fact that Demandred's like, he must be killed after all, because...
He wants him dead.
Yeah, but if he's Taim and the rule was don't kill him,
Fair.
then he's been like biding his time. He's like, tell me I can kill him, tell me I can kill him.
But
now he doesn't know where he is. So.
That's fair. Okay.
Maybe.
Yep.
And then Moradin says, killed? I guess, like, if it comes to that. But finding him won't be a problem. When he touches the Choden call, you'll know where he is, and you will go there and take him or kill him if necessary.
Yeah, which is pretty in line with what Rand thinks will happen.
Yes.
He's talked about as soon as I use
He knows.
they're going to be coming for me.
Rand actually isn't a dummy.
He kind of guesses what the game plan is going to be,
knows.
and it seems like, yeah.
Then they all agreed to obey Moradin's plan, like they had a freaking choice.
Demandred seems like a little bit, so this is kind of interesting, because he's like, okay, so you're telling me we are going to try and attack Rand while he's using...
Althor while he's using... and channeling enough of the one power to...
melt continents.
That's right.
Yep.
But then there's no indication that Moradin would be one of them.
Or Moghedien or Sindane.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, what's the deal here? Is it just us?
This is a bad plan.
It's like, I don't want to be involved in the trying to assassinate this guy while he's wielding so much power that I can't do anything.
Well, smart.
Yeah.
Send the other guys in.
Yeah.
Watch from afar.
But the Nameless has spoken, so that's the game plan.
Yeah, okay. But Demandred also thinks he's nameless for now. But Demandred is thinking of killing him dead forever.
Yes. Okay.
Killing him dead forever.
Yeah.
Like a balefire situation?
How many times do you get to come back?
Like a balefire situation.
Sure.
Demandred is going to balefire Moradin.
Okay.
And he says it might happen very soon.
Is that allowed, though? Because, like, Nameless is Nameless, and that's supposed to be, like, that's the guy.
By accident. Shove him into Choen
Fire hose
situation. Shove him into Rand.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire hose. Get him in the line of balefire by accident. He's coming up with a plan.
Yeah, it's something. Okay.
It's something. Okay, well, that's the end of this chapter. I'm going to need a drink refill.
Yeah, let's do this. One more big one.
Yeah, it didn't feel that big, and then it was pretty big. I was hoping.
Yeah.
I was reading through the whole time. I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
When we come back. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're back.
Little break. We're good.
New drinks?
Yep.
Chapter 14. Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What is the veil hiding?
I was gonna ask you, what do you think the veil hides? Like, we get it.
It clearly hides, like, some status or
Yeah,
something,
it, like,
right?
hides her station.
It hides her station.
Yeah.
Because at first, I did not get it.
Okay.
I did not understand.
Yeah, at the end, it's like, okay, she's
at the end
pretending
of my
that she's...
second read-through, I was like, oh, maybe.
At this point, we can say, like, it hides her status as who she is, and it makes her a regular noble for now.
Just a regular old... Shanshan noble.
Yeah, because she's currently, this is her way to get her balance back.
Whatever the hell that means.
Well...
Okay, here's the thing.
Okay.
Chapter 14 is called What a Veil Hides.
Okay.
What a Girl Wants. I hear that song happening in my brain.
Porpoises. That's what a woman wants.
No. Only sometimes.
Only sometimes do you want the porpoises.
Only sometimes.
Sometimes you want a bird.
Sometimes you want ants on your ship.
Sometimes you want that.
Sometimes you want an albatross at night.
Right. Even if this one's like a black albatross, when usually you're used to like a white one, or like vice versa.
Now, Brett, I'm not superstitious.
But I am
a little stitious.
I would say she is super stitious.
Is it all Shanshan?
It's
all Shanshan.
It seems like it's all Shanshan.
100% all Shanshan.
Yeah.
Are all stitious.
Oh. There's a lot. It's a lot. And this chapter just like drives it home that like this is who we're dealing with. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting even more. Even more. So the chapter symbol is the Shanshan helmet.
Because they're Shanshan. Yep.
And then we get a perspective of someone named Tuon.
Tuon.
And
here's the thing.
I went, ooh, someone brand new. Someone new.
Sort of.
Okay.
Sort of.
No, this is somebody new.
Sort of.
No.
Sort of.
What?
Okay. So. No. Okay. Sort of. Callback. If you remember.
I do not.
Back
clearly. I clearly do not.
The Great Hunt.
Book 2?
Book 2, chapter 34. Now, Turak, High Lord Turak.
Oh, was she there?
No.
Oh.
So, Turak is... High Lord Turak is talking with Padden Fane about the Horn of Valir that Padden Fane just brought to Turak.
Okay.
Okay? And Turak says, if I kept the Horn of Valir for myself, all between myself and the throne would think I mean to be the first hereafter. And while the Empress, of course, wishes that we contend with one another and fight for the Crystal Throne, so that the strongest and most cunning will follow her, she currently favors her second daughter, and she would not look well on any threat to Tuon.
Oh, that's this.
This is
person.
Tuon. This is the second daughter who is currently favored by the Empress.
Oh.
Now,
and I remember for sure that happened.
So it's a one-time reference from 7 books ago during a conversation between a guy who's now dead and Padden Fane.
Yeah.
In a different context.
Completely.
And not in context for the title that she bears, which we find out at the end of the chapter.
No.
There was no connection.
Tuon is actually very important.
She is super important. She is maybe debatably the most important Shanshan person that you're ever going to meet. Maybe.
Okay.
She's definitely the most important person you've met so far.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of hierarchy.
Yeah, I'm talking like she's the favored of the Shanshan to of the Empress. Yeah. So, like, if we meet the Empress, you could say maybe she's more important.
Seems pretty important considering she's a dark friend.
Yeah.
And, like...
Suroth seems she's garbage compared to...
well, in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, ugh, you're just some regular high lady. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay. That all of this makes so much more sense.
Tuon is crazy important.
Because I legitimately thought she was hiding like an ugly boil on her face or something.
Yeah, no.
I thought she was hiding something physical.
Yeah.
And I was searching really hard to figure that out.
Yeah, it's not that.
Okay. Now, there is so much Shanshan
terminology,
world building
and
in
words.
this entire chapter, but I again did not skim.
We're going to break it down.
I didn't. This is the type of chapter I normally skim 100% through.
Yeah.
And I don't pay attention to anything that's happening.
Yeah.
Except for I'm kind of on the lookout for some kind of Shanshan who might be fated to marry Matt.
Ah!
And now, listen. Okay. Now, as soon as we hear about a Shanshan, and I'm reading...
Sure.
This is just an overview of me reading the book by myself.
This is how it works. Okay.
Yeah, on my, minimal lunch break.
Yeah, on a lunch break, and then 20 minutes here, and then get a snippet here.
Yeah, so I'm reading, and I'm reading through, and I'm going, tell me why this person is important, because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Please tell me there's got to be something more than just the background of this person. And so I'm like reading every line. I'm like waiting for something to happen to find out where they are or what's going on or who they are. And I'm like, tell me this is the daughter of the Nine Moons. I was like, just tell me that.
Yeah.
Just tell me that. And I
leave it on a cliffhanger
okay.
for books.
I was like, just tell me. And I was starting to feel quite dejected. I was like, this entire chapter, why the hell did I need to learn all of this? What is going on? Of course, Robert Jordan won't. I was like, what if this is the daughter of the Nine Moons, but we're not going to find out yet?
For a long time.
And then I was like, what? Yeah. And I was like, what if we don't get it's the daughter of the Nine Moons, but we get that, like, Matt's with her now?
Yeah.
And I was like, waiting.
Yeah.
And I was like, waiting for them to dock and get off the ship and for something else to happen.
Sure. But we get it. This is.
We get it.
Tuon is. No, here's the thing that's
No, don't drop it yet.
Okay.
Don't drop it yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Let me do it.
Fair enough. Also, this is a super incredibly important chapter for what the Shanshan are up to. Because I have bad news for Rand. His little battle tactic thingy didn't actually do as much as he might have hoped.
It worked as he didn't want them going in to invade Ilion.
Yeah.
They definitely stopped that.
He was like, hey, don't. And then they're like,
and
okay.
they were like, yeah.
Until we have
Yeah.
So many ships. So
They're
many.
Coming.
So many ships.
I think we might have to learn to live with the Shanshan.
We might have to learn how to live with the Shanshan. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's do this.
Okay. Tuon is on a ship, and she's sitting as a woman named Selusha is shaving her head.
Yeah.
So she is so important that her whole head is shaved.
Yes, that's because usually it's like a half a head, like a side, the thing.
No.
Whole head. Yep.
She currently sees hundreds of great ships in the ocean stretching out to the horizon.
That's important. Hold on. So they're not just ships, they're great ships. And there's hundreds. And they're rolling in currently. They're rolling into Abu Dar.
Right. Okay. So Tuon thinks about how 4 times as many was left in Tanchico.
So if there's hundreds, that means there's probably over 1,000 of these great ships.
Yeah.
We might have to live with the
There's lots. There's lots coming. So, okay. Now, the return has officially begun.
Yeah.
And then Tuon sees an omen of victory because an albatross seems to be following their ship.
Perfect.
And then this is where on my notes I wrote, she's not superstitious, but she is a little stitious. Because that's a very funny Office
it's a great reference.
It's a good one, and I had to say it again. She thinks last night she shouldn't have given a command in anger, and she feels as though she lost some of her honor, and now her balance is all disturbed.
Yeah.
Which seems a little Aiel-y.
A little bit. Me. Yeah.
Aiel-like. With the honor kind of thing.
Except like what she did to lash out and lose her anger. We find out what she did. Yeah. And it's not great.
No. So she lost some of her honor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not talking about like what she did and how much honor, whatever.
Yeah.
Just the fact that she's like, I lost honor feels similar.
Yeah, there's similarities. We can say that.
So Selusha finishes shaving Tuon's head, and we see that Tuon has 10 maids who were all purchased for their appearance and their skills, because nobody likes ugly people who can't do things.
I agree.
Nobody likes that. Those are the worst
people.
Get those people out of here.
Get them out of here.
We hate them.
Yeah. I mean, this is coming from the people who wear like the sheer things that like...
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, we appreciate people who aren't ugly around here.
Okay.
So, they...
You know, someone's going to take that snippet out of context and be like, Dani and Brett suck.
That's the only snippet I'm going to take to plug this episode. If I knew how to do that, man. I would do that.
Okay.
Nah, just kidding. I won't. Also, put together a snippet of our list of things not to do.
Right? Side-by-side comparison.
Yeah. There's lots of things we say don't do.
Yeah.
Like slavery.
Right? Killing whales.
Killing whales is also on that list.
Yeah.
And other things.
Something about killing children, maybe?
Probably don't do that.
I think at some point we talked about that.
I would say definitely don't.
Yeah. Anyways, but here's the thing.
Don't be rude
Let's talk
to ugly people.
Let's talk about this description of Solutia.
Fine. Okay.
Because it's pretty funny. It's a stark comparison of, like, one to another.
Okay. Well, from Tuon's perspective.
I mean, yeah.
From Tuon's perspective, from a culture that clearly really puts physical appearance above a lot of other things.
They put physical appearance, at least in their slaves.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem to matter so much with, like, the blood and, like, the nobles and stuff. Like, for the slaves and the maids and the servants, it seems like that might be more important.
Okay, but Tuon's a little jelly.
A little bit. Just like a smidgen.
It feels jelly.
Just like a bit.
Because Solutia is golden-haired, cream-skinned, and beautiful, with blue eyes and big boobs.
Yeah.
Who isn't exactly tall, but is taller than Tuon.
Yeah, yeah.
And Tuon is short, dark-skinned, with brown eyes, liquid brown eyes.
Yeah.
Who is super slim and looks almost like a boy.
Yeah, but she has like a belt thing.
To emphasize her waist.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just like it's a good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
That one is like secret bodyguard to Tuon, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so they have like this good relationship except for the fact that Tuon could just have Solutia beaten at any moment.
And has it like one or two times.
Right.
But it's like, hey, it hurt Tuon more than it hurt Solutia to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with like
and
the
like
Shantian
she could
culture.
have her beaten if she like misses a patch of hair.
Yeah, because she runs her hand over her head and it's like, oh, do you think I missed a patch after like 3 years of doing this? And it's like, if you did, I'd
that
beat
puts her
you.
at 19.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have an age for her.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I didn't note that before.
Yeah.
I just figured that out now.
Yes.
Because at 16, she got her head shaved for the first time.
Yeah.
Do you think I'd miss a patch after 3 years?
3 years.
Of doing this?
She's 19.
She's 19.
Yeah.
Okay. So we learned that Solutia's mother gave her to Tuon as a cradle gift to be her nursemaid and to secretly be her shadow.
Yeah.
Or a bodyguard that nobody knows about.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
I think that this is something that people in Randland should pick up. Like Elaine, for example, should have some bodyguards.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But not just like, oh, we're going to hire you after the fact.
Yeah. Oh, I've
hired some people that, like, for
Ranch
sure we don't know if we can trust.
Like, let's get some bodyguards around our main characters, guys.
Yes.
Instead
and, like, ones that we know we trust.
Yeah.
Find Tom.
For sure.
Get him up in here. Find some
this
people.
is my Gleeman.
Yeah.
He did that with Rand did with Asmodean, sort of.
Sort of.
Wasn't
no,
exactly
no,
bodyguard,
no,
but...
no, he didn't.
Okay, no time for that now. That's fine.
No, he did not.
That's fine. No, it's
that's
like
not
like
the same.
people who are something but actually something different.
Yeah, that's
what I was thinking.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so now it's interesting because when Tuon turned 16, she was supposed to give up her maid, but Solutia surprised everyone by asking to be Tuon's chief maid going forward.
Yeah, and it was like almost like a demotion technically, but in secret she's like bodyguard now, so it's cool. There's a whole lot of backstory that we don't necessarily have to get into for the culture of Shan-Chen.
No, I would really like to not.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Okay, there's another person here named Anath.
Yeah.
Who is
the truth speaker.
Sophia.
Yeah. So this is important because we get a lot of Anath.
Yeah, later.
So she's the sort of new truth speaker.
Yeah, a couple years short because
the old one died by falling down the stairs.
Oh yeah, right, by accident. I don't believe that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Any more to add to that?
Someone shoved her down the stairs.
Okay. Well,
people don't just like die falling down the stairs by
that
accident.
Is not true. That is like the number one cause of death for people falling down.
That's
like
also not true at all.
It's like the number one cause of death for all people anywhere is falling downstairs. Put me on the record for that one. Totally true. Nope, I have nothing else to add to this. You just said something crazy, so I thought I should say something crazy.
When somebody for sure plotted murder and shoved someone
to
down
get
the
this
stairs.
really, really mean truth speaker to say mean things.
Yes,
she's like kind of mean.
Yes,
she's kind of a jerk.
Yes,
but like to what end?
I don't know the Shan-Chen dynamics yet.
Because, like, that's the main thing about a nap.
It feels very suspicious that someone just happened to fall down the stairs and die.
And we're going to put someone in her place that's just, like...
I don't care about that.
Super mean.
Maybe that part didn't matter. Maybe the other one just needed to die.
Okay.
Right? Maybe it didn't matter who replaced her. I don't know. I just told you I don't know Shanshan dynamics, Brett.
Fair. Okay, cool. All right. We get a little bit of backstory for Tuon siblings.
I don't care.
It's a little bit important because there is the contest between siblings, but also we get that a sister and a brother have been made Dakoval. Dakoval is property, right? So they got made into property because it was discovered they could channel.
Ooh.
So that's kind of important because we also get the whole thing where Tuon takes an interest in, like, Suldam, and we know, and Damani.
The brother could channel?
Yeah, so 2 of her siblings could channel.
Oh, 2 of them could, okay.
2 of them could. And then we also find that she takes a great interest in, like, Damani and wanted to be tested as Suldam. And the whole thing we know about Shanshan culture is Suldam can actually learn how to channel.
That's right.
So, like, it runs in the family. Kind of important to the whole, how do we crumble the Shanshan society?
Okay.
We send all the captured Suldam back to the Shanshan. That's Elaine's plan.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's
okay,
a good one.
Good, okay. Figured it out. All right.
At this point, Tuon decides she needs to restore her balance. So she asks Selucia for a veil, which is super scandalous for some reason. At this point, I didn't know
At this
why
point,
that
we
was
don't
so
know,
scandalous.
But we know now.
But Selucia doesn't seem happy by this request, but she does it and doesn't say anything because she knows her place.
Yeah.
So Tuon puts this on, and it's pretty much completely transparent, so it doesn't even hide her face at all. But it does say it hides what is most important. And I said, ooh, that's intriguing.
Yeah, okay.
Because I didn't know what that was. What's most important that it hides? It was like a big scar on her face or something?
No.
No.
Okay, well, my skin is super dried out because we've been on the ocean for like a month. Anyways, so as a actual reason why they might not be super happy about her doing this, so we know this is the beginning of the actual return.
Yes.
Like the big return we've been hearing about since like the second book. This is happening, and she, Tuon, is top dog in this ranking system of Shanshan. Yeah. And now, as they're rolling up to Abu Dar, she's choosing to hide her top dog rank as they roll in. And they're like, really? You're just going to act and pretend that you're like a regular noble right now as we're rolling in?
Right.
Like, I can understand why there'd be some frustration. Like, what's the game plan? Just because
Good thing that they don't get a say.
Yeah, well, they don't. But they're like, just because you beat a Damani for telling you things you wanted to hear but then didn't like.
Yeah. Because
you caned her, which I assume means beating her with a cane.
Ah, yes.
So her balance is all out of whack, and she's like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that.
Ooh, okay.
So, anyways, that's the situation.
Well, Tuon leaves the cabin and goes into the next, where there are 6 of her personal Suldam are there with their Damani.
Yeah.
And so this is how we know, at this point,
she's top dog.
She's, like, very important. Because this is, like, impressive. For anyone to own even one is, like, a pretty big idea. Like,
it's big.
It's big. Standing.
And this is where we get that, like, Lydia had caused her anger last night because Tuon had commanded the Damani to read her fortune. Because everyone knows Damani can all read fortunes. Which is like, what? Also not, from what we know, like, that's not how it works. Like, all channelers can't read fortunes. No. But it seems like the Shanshan have I wonder if they're, like, dreamers. All of them? In Tuon's mind, she's like, everyone knows Damani can read fortunes. Yeah. But, like, all the signs, so it's almost like there's, like, that fortune-tellery side to it. Well, they're all superstitious and have all these omens and... Yeah. Yeah. It feels like maybe, though. Like, maybe they've uncovered some kind of fortune-telling weave. Maybe. But my issue with the fortune-telling and omen side of things is, even at the beginning of this chapter, Tuon thinks, like, oh, everyone knows that, I think, an owl... At night means in the morning, it means death. And then she says someone like, oh, and rain with an owl hooting at dawn means death. And then rain without clouds means an unexpected visitor. But it's like, so everyone who sees rain without clouds gets an unexpected visitor? Everyone? So if it rains, every person in town... Well, this reminds me of horoscopes. Yeah. Right? Don't get me started on horoscopes. I know, Brady. Anyways. I know. But, okay, listen.
I know how you feel, and I like horse. I think that
it seems like
astrology.
It seems like the whole all Damani can read fortunes might be a little bit hokey.
Of a stretch.
A little bit, yeah.
But you know what?
So Lydia said some things.
I am going with the fact that maybe because we've uncovered a lot of different weaves.
Sure.
Through the Damani blowing
maybe they
shit
have
out
something.
Maybe they have discovered some kind of dreaming, because we know that dreaming has like lots of that sort of stuff. So there might be some prophetic stuff in here.
You know what? I'll give you that.
We've seen a lot of our characters do prophetic and have prophetic dreams.
And Lydia said something Tuon didn't like, and then Tuon beat her
because she didn't like what she heard.
Yeah,
and then this is where I wrote, my interest has officially been piqued.
Okay.
Because what made her so angry? Did she hear that she was fated to marry somebody from this mainland?
And she's like, what?
And she was so angry about it.
Yeah? Maybe.
I was just like looking for anything. I was like, is this it? Is this it?
Matt got a prophecy, so why wouldn't she?
Tuon also get a prophecy.
And that would make her angry. For sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now, knowing that it's like kind of been confirmed for me.
Yeah.
It makes this even better.
Okay.
Because I was like waiting. I was like, oh my god, this better be it.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyway, Tuon's super sad and upset that she's beat this woman. This Damani, not woman, because she would never be a woman.
She's property more akin to an animal, but even
so she goes over and is like petting her and tells the Suldam, Lydia is a good Damani, treat her wounds until the pain is gone, give her makeup to cover her wounds.
And the best part, sweet custard.
Give her sweet custard with every meal. And then the Suldam says, okay, but if she gets fat, I'll take her for runs.
I know, and it's like, I don't even want to...
And then the Damani says, don't worry, I'll never get fat.
Yeah.
And I just went, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is just like, fuck. Like, I was talking about the problematic stuff with Elaine's food, and they're like, oh, we'll make sure she's eating too many sweets. Like,
here's the thing.
God.
A lot of the times we talk about how the Shanshan view Damani as animals, but I don't even say that because, like, you don't treat your animal like this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even treat like a work horse like this, where it's like, oh, well, you know, if the horse needs a good diet, and we get into the specifics, which one like talks to the Suldam about the diet and exercise plans for the Damani, and it's like, I can see you maybe doing that for like a work animal in a sense, where it's like, oh, you want to make sure they're healthy and taken care of, and I need a proper it's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah.
To lighten the mood, though.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay, good. Yep. Good. Is
okay.
it? Okay, go.
So there's two Damani here that are sisters.
Yeah.
One is named Dally.
Yep.
One is named Dani.
Okay.
Okay.
I have something about this.
Okay.
Because
here, do you want to do my thing first? Let me do my thing first. It's important that we put this on the record.
Okay, because this isn't even, you know Danelle?
That's part of my question.
Danelle's kind of like, listen, no, let me say it. You can ask your question after. It's my turn. Okay. So, Danelle is kind of like Danielle. Mm-hmm. You know, which is my name.
I don't want to spoil it and say there's no Danielles in the series.
No, that's fine.
But there's a Danelle and a Dani.
And there's also a Danelle. And I'm like, fantasy versions of my name. That's funny. No, this is no fantasy. This is my name. It's even spelled Dani. Mm-hmm. Like I spell it.
Okay.
And the one time I appear in this book, and it's a Damani.
Let me ask you the question. Who would you rather be? Would you rather be Dani, the Damani, or Danelle, the Aes Sedai?
Danelle, the Aes Sedai.
Really? Okay. I don't want to...
I would never choose...
She was involved in overthrowing Swan Sanche?
Good. She had some power for a moment. Good for her.
You're sure? You're going with Danelle?
Danelle, of course.
Fine.
I don't want to be a Damani.
Fine.
This is the worst.
Fine. That was the question. Anyways, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I did read that, and I was like, come on.
Because I know how you were really excited when we first met Danelle. You're like,
it's my name.
And you're like, Danelle. But now it's like, Dani.
Dani the Damani. Great. Just great. Thanks, RJ.
Yeah.
For that.
I'm excited for when Brett shows up. Well, because Rand dies, and then Brett comes in and saves the series, and he...
Really?
Yeah, that's what happens.
With an H in it, or...?
No, it's spelled the same way. It's crazy.
Whoa,
yeah.
that is crazy.
Actually, 3 T's.
3 T's.
We all know 1 T Bretts are the worst. Anyways, we have things to talk about in this chapter.
Like Brett from Flight of the Conchords, I think is 1 T. Brett.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That was enough of that.
Okay. I definitely had other things to say, and I completely forgot.
That's okay. That's okay. Let's get back to the Damani thing, because now we learn Tuon has a favorite Damani
named Mylan, who refused to eat and was basically dying and stuff. But now she's perfect, and no one would believe that she was used to be called an Aes Sedai.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay.
Is this someone we know?
Well, here's the thing.
Because I can't place it, I can't figure it out.
Well, this is the thing about this situation. So we get that she's taken an interest. She wanted to become... Well, she didn't want to become Soldan because she would never become Soldan.
Tuon, you mean? Yes.
Yeah, Tuon.
So we get a backstory on Tuon.
Full
she
backstory.
tested for Suldam when she reached adulthood.
She likes to train Damani because she also likes training horses, and there's similarities or whatever. And she's great at both of them because Mylan, the former Aes Sedai... And we know Aes Sedai are not in Seanchan. They're only here.
Yes.
So this Aes Sedai had to have been...
taken in Tenchiko.
Taken from Tenchiko and then brought back to Seanchan because she was picked up at, like, some port in Seanchan and then, like, brought back. So, like, a time frame. So we have gotten some names, but we never got a Mylan. But we did learn that there were some Aes Sedai who were taken. Yeah. So we gotta wait. Okay. We gotta wait on that one.
Okay.
All right.
Remind me later.
Yeah, because Bail Doman went on a whole thing in The Great Hunt.
Right.
About people that, he saw Aes Sedai being taken.
Yeah, sure.
So.
Not great.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tuon goes to the next area of the boat.
Yeah, as boats are
it's a great
arranged.
ship. I picture like a cruise ship.
She's going, like, from cabin to cabin, and I don't really understand boats enough to, like, know what's happening. Is it just, like...
Well, it's a bunch of rooms.
Like, all in a row, and she's just, like, walking through the rooms to get to the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been on a cruise ship.
I've not been on that.
Think of, like, a hotel room. A hotel hallway.
She's just, like, going room to room.
Have you seen Titanic?
A lot.
We're having this
I don't remember that.
We're having this conversation again. Oh, my God. Brett, you gotta watch Titanic.
Gonna do it in the car with...
No! Okay, see, you remember some things?
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. Basically, like, think of a hotel hallway. Okay. And then in each, you walk out of one room.
Just like going into
and then walk into the next room. Each, like, a cabin is a room.
Okay, all right. Explained.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then you, like, can go up some stairs and go to the deck.
Yes.
Yeah. On our cruise ship, there's an elevator. I don't think they have an elevator.
Yeah, and you keep the oranges down below so you don't get scurvy. You gotta bring, like...
oranges.
Oranges or, like, limes or something. Like, right. I know that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too concerned.
You should be. You should be concerned.
On the Royal Caribbean cruise ship I was on.
There's more important things to be worried about.
They literally were carving sculptures into watermelons and pineapples, so I don't think we were concerned about scurvy.
Okay, back to the Death Watch guards. I swear, we
gear.
have things to talk about.
Gear!
Oh my god, not yet. Okay, so...
No, I wanted... That's what's happening. Talk about them.
Okay, so there's 500 other Death Watch... So we got the Death Watch guards, and as a reminder for who the Death Watch guards are, they're basically like the force that is in charge of protecting the Empress and Tuon, for example, and they are all considered Dakoval. They're property, but the Ogier Gardeners, who are also Death Watch guards, are not on the same level, so they're not property.
No.
Yeah, but the Death Watch guards also, if Tuon dies, they die.
Okay.
So they're basically like, lives are connected, so they will do whatever they have to protect Tuon. They are 100% on Tuon's side. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
The Ogier Gardeners are all volunteers as well, so they're also on the same page of, like, let's protect them.
These are Ogier Gardeners from Seanchan.
These are Seanchan Ogier.
Okay.
These are Seanchan Ogier.
And they are fighters.
They seem like super, incredibly dangerous fighters, yes.
Yeah. See, this is who I want as my warder.
Yeah. Ogier Gardener.
Remember we talked about?
It's almost as if I knew that maybe this was coming.
Oh my gosh.
And
crazy.
I was like, hey, what happens?
Yeah, I was like, who cares?
Could you bond?
Now I care.
Could you bond an Ogier as a warder?
Yeah.
Okay. sometimes there's method to what I do.
Okay. Anyway, back on track. There's a bunch of stuff happening.
Yeah.
She's going to get up on deck. There's nobles of the blood.
So the nobles are ready to prostrate themselves, like lie on the ground for her?
None of this actually matters. Can I zoom through some of this?
But, like, then they see the veil and they're like, okay, you're normal.
Yeah,
You're just like us,
so we're just going to not incline our head to you, a little bow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get to the important part of this.
2 on things about how the McGuire woman,
the McGuire woman, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
She's here.
Yeah, and who's the McGuire woman?
Rhonda McGuire.
Who did what?
Fork-rooted.
Fork-rooted?
Nynaeve and Elaine.
Yes. Okay, so she's here now, and she really wants to be in service to the Shanshan because she hates Aes Sedai for some reason.
Uh-huh.
And despite the rewards she's already been given for her extremely valuable information, she wants to do even more damage to the
Aes Sedai.
So what is the extremely valuable information that she gave to the Shanshan?
I don't know. Bunch of Aes Sedai stuff. Bunch of information she has about Aes Sedai.
What's the really important thing that Rhonda McGuire knew?
Forkroot?
Forkroot.
Oh.
Rhonda McGuire is the one who knows about Forkroot.
Ah.
She's the person.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, now everyone knows.
Everyone knows, but now
they also know.
The Shanshan know.
Yeah.
About
but
Forkroot.
It's like you have to get that into somebody's digestive system before it matters.
True.
So, you have to be in pretty close quarters.
There's things.
Before you can get to stop the people from channeling at you.
Yeah.
You have to, be...
Slip it in their teeth.
Yeah, but, anyway. It's interesting.
Yeah.
However.
Let's just, keep tabs on that.
Okay, so now we get a bunch of boring stuff about her banners and how her veil is actually important because now her banner's coming down because of the veil she's wearing.
It's regular. She's not super noble now. She's regular noble.
Yeah, and then her truth speaker's
Anath, yeah.
You're an idiot. Stop
she's
it.
Super mean. She's very mean.
Stupid.
Yeah, and also two on things. You're not supposed to be afraid of your truth speaker, but she is a little bit afraid of Anath.
Right.
So I mean that's interesting, I guess. But yeah,
and she's like, "Are you gonna hide your face like this forever? What are you doing? This is dumb."
So the role of a truth speaker is kind of interesting because we kind of get that too. That in this next little section, because there's a lot of backstory built into the conversation with Anath berating Tuon about how she's acting. So the way it works is that an actual truth speaker, if you're actually a truth speaker, which Anath is, you can't be commanded, you can't be coerced, you can't be punished for what you do or say.
Yeah.
So
you're required to tell the truth whether or not anybody wants to hear it.
So your job is literally to keep the blood in check. Be like, hey, what you're doing is stupid. And that kind of makes sense.
I want this job.
You want okay.
More than I've wanted any job ever in this we've actually been asked this question in Q&As. What job would you like to have?
Truth speaker. Actual truth speaker.
Actual truth speaker.
Yeah.
If I could go into my work, any workplace that I've ever worked in, and just tell everybody exactly what I'm thinking at all times.
Be like, hey, idiot, tough love it is.
This would be so great.
Yeah.
I would like this.
So here's the thing. There is a distinction between actual truth speakers like Anath and then not actual truth speakers. So what some of the blood do, because we know there's different levels of the blood, right? Some of the blood use their the voices, the people they have as almost an assistant.
Oh yes,
they use them as if they were true speakers.
Yeah, that's
but then
not
they can still punish them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is not how it works.
Well, no, the voices seems to be oh, I'm gonna speak on your behalf at a place you don't want to be at. But they can't just say whatever the hell they want.
But that's the thing is from the description, Tuon thinks about how some of the blood call them true speakers, but they're not actually true speakers.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's the important thing. And,
anyway.
Yeah.
Luckily though, 3 porpoises rise up out of the water and don't come up again.
Yeah.
And Tuon thinks, an omen. Hold to your chosen course.
Yes,
and
with
I thought,
the veil thing.
Yes. Duh.
Yeah.
Of course that's what that means.
Well, it seems like Anath is trying to be hey, don't do the veil, just do some sort of penance thing, whatever.
And Tuon's no, shut it.
Yeah, because she's I'm not going to do what you say.
No, and then she says, hey, you know what? The High Lady Suroth must be commended, but her ambition must be looked into.
Right?
She's done a lot for the Forerunners and the Empress, but success on this scale often breeds ambition.
Which is like, wow, you are smack right on the nose here.
Well, and listen, I, at this point, was like, ooh, a name I know, because this entire time I'm like, why does this matter?
Yeah.
We've done a whole chapter of a bunch of stuff I could care less about.
Yeah.
And it's like, Suroth, okay. And then in my brain, I was like, when did we see her last? Around Abu Dar. I was like, nice, okay.
Yeah.
It's coming together. It's coming in. What's going on? So, then we get Anath being annoyed that Tuon has changed the subject here and says, I'm sure Suroth is fine. Relax.
Yeah.
And Tuon's not
She's
sure
not
about
fine.
that.
She's a dark friend.
Yeah.
It's good that Tuon's not sure about it.
But then Tuon says, I must find a way to make contact with the Dragon Reborn as soon as possible. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You and everybody else. Like, you and literally everybody want his attention
but
right now.
she's like pretty high ranking.
Yeah, but she thinks, she doesn't quite know.
Yeah.
She doesn't know Rand yet. But
what, Rand's not going to take this meeting?
yeah, well, that's why I'm like, ooh, is this going to be why she connects to Matt?
Oh, okay,
in some way.
Yeah.
Right? Or
Sure.
to Viren Pull, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so she says he must kneel before the Crystal Throne before Tarmangaiden or all is lost, and Anath's mood changes.
Yeah.
And then she smiles and is like, ooh, you must be careful. You must not let him learn how dangerous you are to him until it's too late for him to escape. And I just went, oh, because it's that easy.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
Super easy.
Number one, that easy to just like have a meeting with Rand.
Yeah.
Number two, get close to Rand, close enough that he like trusts you.
And then get him to kneel.
Not let him find out you're dangerous to him.
Yeah.
And then get him to kneel.
Get him to kneel. There you go.
Easy.
So it's not going to happen like that?
No.
Okay. All right. Just like for the record.
I'm going to go with no.
Not happening like that?
But I am going to go with Matt marrying this woman is going to be...
Complicated?
A hindrance.
To who?
Rand.
Okay. And also probably to the Shanshan.
And also probably
let's be real
to
here.
Matt.
And to Matt, yeah.
I really hope that he's like okay with this marriage.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling like I just need to know where Matt is. I need to know what's going on, number one. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
Sure.
There's one more point.
There's one more, like, medium important thing that happens here.
Because Anath goes on giving advice, Tuon tunes her out, none of it's new information, and they head towards Abu Dar.
Yeah.
And Tuon thinks behind her veil, she was merely the High Lady, but in her heart, always, she was Tuon Athame Kor Pandrag.
Yeah, that's her full name.
Daughter of the Nine Moons.
Ah! Daughter of the Nine Moons.
And she has come to reclaim what had been stolen from her ancestors. Yes, I literally need a victory lap. After reading every word of this entire chapter, it was like a football touchdown moment where I took the book and slammed it down and was like, the crowd, I'm like, I was like, yes, good. Thank you so much, Robert Jordan, for this lovely gift you've given me.
Didn't leave us hanging on that
He
one.
literally gave us a gift, and we need to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Because it could have been so easy for him to not
Oh, yeah,
give
totally,
us this tidbit.
I mean, if we want to get into, semantics here, Daughter of the Nine Moons seems more of a title, and
Fuck you.
Matt's
no.
fated to marry the Daughter of the Nine Moons. Not specifically fated to marry Tuon, Daughter of the Nine Moons.
Fuck you. No. No. This is a win. We're taking this. This is who Matt is fated to marry. The end.
Not her sister, to Wall.
No.
Okay.
Is that her? Did you just make that up?
No, I just made that up.
Well, how am I supposed to know?
Well, back in book one.
Maybe exactly. Maybe I missed it even in this chapter.
Okay, so this is the lady.
This is it.
This is her.
Which
she's rolling into Abu Dar, and who's in Abu Dar?
Matt.
Well,
and it confirms he's alive.
What's
right?
the chapter symbol for the next chapter?
I don't know.
5 dice.
No, it's not.
Oh my goodness.
No, Brett.
No friggin' way.
Is it actually?
Slammed the book on the ground like a touchdown in football again.
I didn't even look at the next chapter. I didn't even know.
It's 5
No,
dice.
it's not.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Is it the return of Matt, or is it just another trick?
Do you hope it's not
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's part
I'm
of the
too
pattern.
excited.
It's part of the
I'm
pattern.
too
Okay.
excited.
Okay. We gotta end
This
this now.
is too exciting.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't think that this chapter, while reading it, would actually... Like, because nothing happens.
Yeah.
Literally nothing happens for all of the pages. Okay.
Yeah.
This is it. We're going. We're getting there.
Yeah.
I can see why, I'm liking the book now.
It picks up real quick.
It's picking up.
We get through a little.
fast.
Yeah.
We got lots of things on the move.
Yeah.
On the go. We're moving. We're going. We're grooving.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And we don't have time to talk about the hypocrisy of
Oh.
the Shanshan being
Literally
hey,
none of that.
my ancestors have this land stolen. But it's hey, Arthur Hawkwing conquered the entire nation with blood and fire. So it's really?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's fine. But hey, let's get to it because someone might be returning next chapter.
Oh my god. I'm so excited. 2 chapters.
Yep.
We're gonna do it.
Let's do it.
So, before you go ahead and find out who the Daughter of the 9 Moons is, I'm gonna say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
All right, that'll do it for us tonight. But thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Margaret, Charlie Haz, Hannah Green, Lance Barden, Elspeth Ahola, and Adam, with music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else, and at the time of this recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Plus, find us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. And as always, be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.